Judy Hensley. I'm a principal at iBailey, leading up the compensation and benefits group practice area. Today we're going to outline the framework for cyber responsibilities for employee benefit plans. We're going to highlight the risks, both the general risks of cybersecurity and some of the risks that are maybe more unique to plans. We're going to discuss some of the Department of Labor guidance that addresses best practices for good cybersecurity hygiene. And then we're going to also talk about the Department of Labor audit activity, and then also just potential consequences of failure to follow these steps. So let's get started, and let's get started talking about what some of the risks are. So as everybody knows, organizations face many vulnerabilities every day in the cybersecurity realm. That can mean we see breaches of customer employee data, systems vulnerabilities, endpoint attacks, third-party vendors. Employees are very often a big issue. Now there's a whole frontier of AI attacks. There's also an understanding that there's a bit of lack of expertise and training to keep up with these things. And in addition, that there's a patchwork of laws, not just the ones that we're going to be discussing today, but there's a patchwork of laws that organizations have to comply with respect to kind of protecting employee or customer data and other cybersecurity issues. What's critical is that these organizational protocols need to be part of benefit plan management. So every organization, when they're thinking about their own security, their own cyber issues and protocols, part of that assessment should be benefit plans. There are some fairly unique issues to benefit plans. They almost all have personal identifying information like dates of birth, social security numbers, have addresses. They also have personal health information. So there's definitely a lot of goodies that a bad actor would be interested in. The information could be used for identity theft. It can be used to get a fraudulent distribution from the plan. So, but there's other unique issues, or fairly unique to the benefit plan space, is in addition to these kind of PII theft and fraudulent distributions, you have lots of phishing attempts, social engineering attacks trying to get participant information. You have service providers. The service providers very often use third parties, and the third parties might use other third parties. Everything is online now. Plan administration is online. The accounts are online. Distributions can, in the case of retirement plans, can be generated online as well. We're going to turn next to the Department of Labor guidance. Specifically, I mentioned that it was in 3 parts: cybersecurity program best practices, tips for hiring service providers, and security tips for participants. I'm going to turn it over to Matt, who's going to go through the program best practices.
Thank you, Judy. So my name is Matt Zruba, and I oversee the cybersecurity services here at iBailey. I am going to be taking you through the essentially 12 best practices that the Department of Labor says that retirement plans must have in place in order to be compliant with what the requirements are. This first slide here is essentially an overview of those 12 cybersecurity best practices, but the remaining slides here, we'll go through each one is where the detail is.